In this video, I'm going to just share the art tools I use for my pastel paintings and the artwork I'm currently working on. My name is Rachel Mayton. I specialise in pastel portrait paintings and currently learning how to paint with acrylic and oils. Feel free to follow my journey as I progress through a variety of artworks, sharing my art tips along the way. So feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. To begin with, I'm going to share the art tools that I use for my pastel paintings. Now, I love using the Anthracite number 6 paper. It's the pastel mat sheets. You get 12 sheets in total in this actual pad here. You can get this hold of this off Amazon. It is size 30 by 40 centimeters. I find having the bigger size, you're able to put so much more detail down on it. Okay, so you do get 12 sheets and they come with this glassine paper on top of each sheet like this. Okay, no matter what I'm doing, I always use this paper. I know for some people they would actually choose different colors depending on what sort of painting they're doing, color scheme that they're going for, but I tend to always go with this one. Probably should change it up a wee bit, but I just really like using this one. I have used the 24 by 30 centimeter size ones, but I think they're more for those where you don't have to put so much detail down on. I find it very difficult to do little faces and stuff like that, so that's why I've always gone for the 30 to 40. I also use, with regards to pastel pencils, I use the Faber and Castell ones. These are pit pastels, and they are much firmer than a lot of the pastel pencils out there. So I find that, with the details and everything, they're really good to use. I also use the Stabilo Carbofello pastel pencils as well. They are rather soft, so they tend to be good for those areas where you just need to blend a bit more. I find they're very good for that, but they do break, so I just want to put that out there. These do break a lot. I do use some sharpeners. I use a mix really, but I find that the sharpeners don't tend to last very long. I do have the Stabilo, we've got the Derwent, I also have the Faber and Castell, which I sometimes use just to try and get it sharp. Now I have got recently purchased this thing here. It is a folding utility knife, so that it can make it easier to sharp when they're constantly breaking in the sharpener. So I'm going to give that a go as well. So it'll be interesting to see how I work with that as well. So those are the tools I use with regards to kind of like the drawing aspect. I do also use some soft pastels. So I do have the Unison color ones. They are like half sticks. They are made for portrait, but I find they're very rich in color, but they're also very dusty. There is a lot of dust. I find that there's much less dust with the pencils. I also use Rembrandt. I do have one here I can show you. So they are soft pastels that you can use. They are good for like the background, but again they can get dusty as well. So what I use for the dust, I do have like this little this thing that would just hoover up the dust, and you can get these off Amazon. It's a handy little thing. It gets rid of the dust and it makes it so much easier than blowing the dust away. So that's basically the tools that I do use. Obviously I've got loads more pencils and stuff. I do have some pastel sticks, but I tend not to use them. I find that they are a bit too hard, and so I tend to just work with the pencils, and then occasionally I will use some of these half sticks and the Rembrandt soft pastels. So that's what I use with regards to art tools. Whenever I do a pastel painting, I place them on a plasterboard. As you can see here, if I just show it to you like this, they were actually from my dad's garage, so it's just very hard board. So if you can find anything that's hard that you can place your pastel portrait on, that is a great way of doing it. And I also use like artist masking tape. Now as you can notice, I've actually put the tape underneath Some people like to create an edge, and I used to do that, whereas now I go right to the edge. Okay, so we can use the whole of the paper. So this is actually stuck underneath, and I will show you how to do that in one of my videos as I get going with this YouTube channel. I'm currently working on this pastel painting of Chad Mike Collins. I begin in layers and add the final details at the very end. I've currently only added a couple of layers so far, and I've got about 2 more to go. For my YouTube channel, I plan to show my progress from beginning to end and hope that it helps inspire those of you who are interested in trying out pastel paintings, and also for those of you who want to master realism. You may be currently drawing with pastels and you're just struggling with how to do maybe people portraits, and you're just wanting some tips on that. So I'll be diving into that on how to do that. Okay. So thank you for watching this video. Feel free to subscribe and share with me what type of tools you like to use for your pastel art.